Welcome back. You're watching Rubbin Minds, of course, and yeah, we're going to switch gears now and move on to a hot topic, probably the hottest topic in Nigeria right now. There's always something new in this country, and we just have to keep up. Ahmed Agbabiaka is here with me. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
As always.
Yes.
We're talking whistleblowing and all of the many parts around it, and it's becomes a big phenomenon now. Like with everything in Nigeria, and there's people who make jokes about it. People are trying to whistleblow everybody. Yeah, if you withdraw more than 50K at the ATM now, people are waiting behind you to call the FCC to come and search your house. But I mean, it's a very interesting phenomenon now. I mean, it's a very new. It's a new initiative, pretty much, by the Minister of Finance, and it's quite a short time, I want to believe. We've already seen results, and it's quite interesting that the kind of results we're seeing are things that you would think that very few things can shock Nigerians, but even Nigerians are shocked at like the amount of. I mean, I had dreams about money so many times. Are you impressed with how well this is working so far?
Well, I thank you for having me once again, and I think once again there's this reason to believe that there's hope for this country. And after all, fighting corruption might not be a too difficult task as we thought it's going to be, if everybody is going to get involved, if everybody wants to get involved in it. So this whistleblowing policy of the federal government, I think, has employed everybody as a potential fighter of corruption, anti-corruption official, if I may put it. You know, so I think it's working so far and it's good. It's not a new phenomenon anyway. Perhaps it's coming as an official thing right now. It's been on. The bill was introduced in 2014, and we've had exceptional cases in this country where whistleblowing actually took place, and we had very great conviction as regards the fight against corruption. We had some of them might be looked at from the point of view of perhaps the greediness in the parties involved. But the end product of it is that Nigerians were better for it. We had the issue of Tafa Balogun, the former IG, you know, that was disgraced out of force, you know, with his oddly, or one of his officers, one of his junior officers, that he do send, according to the story, to deposit money for him somewhere. And that one took part of the money, and it became a big problem. In the process of sanctioning him, that the junior officer had to report, and that was how we got to the issue of Tafa Balogun, which was a landmark conviction as far as anti-corruption was concerned in this country. Yeah. So far, I think it's working, and we are having good results from it.
What does it say about us, so that we needed this sort of an incentive for people to start speaking up? I mean, I don't want to imagine how many phone calls anti-corruption agencies have gotten. Of course, some might have been false, some might have been false alarms, but there are probably some that they are still working on to getting at. But I mean, it just shows you that why did they have to take this one and then tell me? What does it say about us?
Well, like I said earlier, I think Nigerians are going to be better. Are going to get the end result of this is going to be beneficial to the entire masses. Perhaps someone was involved, the driver, the security, you know, or house help, or somebody that has been seeing this kind of money and doesn't know the way or the way and manner of going about, and Oga or Madam has been maltreating such a person, you know, might just go ahead and, you know, just blow the whistle. And at the end of the day, but so far, on a serious note, I think some of these things, like the landmark Ikoyi gates that we've been talking, the recent Ikoyi that we're talking about, the EFCC came out and said it was a voluntary pronouncement or alert by somebody, by a patriotic Nigerian, that the person was not even interested in the incentive attached to it, the 2.5% to 5%. It was officially stated.
Many people were offended by that.
Yes. So a lot of people were offended by that. But I think that gradually that spirit of patriotism will supersede the greed for to want to get more or to want to get an incentive from it. But again, it's a policy, so I don't think there's anything bad in it.
But there are people who actually believe that there are actually no whistleblowers. There are people who are saying that this is just government okay, they put out an act, say, okay, this is what it's going to be if you blow the whistle, but actually people in government are actually just ratting out themselves or each other, and that's actually what's happening. Do you actually think
also whistleblowing? If government officials that knew each other very well, that knew you have taken yourself, then you blow the person, you whistle blow the person, and I think it's working. So whichever way we look at it, as much as we are recovering these monies, we are seeing them. As at mid-February this year, the Minister of Information told us that we had 151 million and another $151 million and 8 billion naira from just 4 discoveries, from 4 whistleblowers, 4 different cases, and I think it's really working. So you see, there's this truly, we can look at it from this angle of, well, some people are looking for excuses, to want to witch hunt or deal with perceived opponents. That's how some people have put it. But I think the long and short of it is that these monies are discovered, and at the end of the day, you find out that these monies are become the latest word attached to it now. They become orphans. They are orphan money. Many people start denying. You see hundreds of millions, billions somewhere, and people are denying. So if they are being witch hunt, then you should be able to boldly come out and say it's your money. So person is. But we found out that most often than not, a lot of people are denying, even if the money is ascribed to some people. They say, no, it's none of theirs. It's not their money.
I want to approach that from a different angle now, talking about the EFCC and Ibrahim Magu, who is the head, acting the head of the EFCC. He has been turned down twice by the Senate. He doesn't seem to have a lot of fans in government, and we can see, we've seen that play out, especially in the Senate, where his appointment has been refused. There are people who believe that, okay, could this just be EFCC just showmanship from the anti-corruption agency? Because first of all, no convictions as usual. They seem to be extremely slow all the time with regards to prosecuting and even convicting. Convicting is even fine. Even prosecutions generally take forever. Okay, the issue with the former DG of the NNPC. We know someone at least, but even that has not. We've not seen so much of a progress with that. With the Ikoyi one, there's all of this drama with who owns it, who doesn't own it. I mean, how fair do you think the EFCC has been with all of this? Well, how clean are their hands?
Because let me start with the friendliness or friendship or the patronage that Magu is having within and outside government circle. If it were otherwise, if he's loved by government officials, then it's a problem for this country. So it's a good thing that they don't like him. So, but you see, coming down to the actual effectiveness of the process so far, there's no way the anti-corruption war is going to go on in a democracy, and the agency fighting it that is subject to different laws would take it upon themselves to arrest, prosecute, and all the process that is involved. So we, like the former NNPC GMD, we look at all the court processes. It was a fast one and all that. At the end of the day, perhaps it was a plea bargain or something. We don't really understand what is going on. But the problem with all this is the judicial process involved. Judicial process involved and the legislation, from government circle. The National Assembly has refused to pass a law or, enact a law that will allow for even the spending of confiscated monies or assets. So you see, there are a lot of things involved in it. So the EFCC on its own cannot be the judge in all the cases.